Chase Young started off the game strong. This is the first drive of the game, and the Chiefs are going to throw this little tight end screen over to Travis Kelsey, and it only goes for a couple yards gained. And you can see Chase Young down here at right defensive end is going to sniff this thing out pretty quickly. He's going to notice it, flip his hips, get back to the ball, and be there for the tackle with his teammates. So he started the game really strong. Next play here, this is going to be the sack that Chase Young had, and it's just a really good job from him to beat the left tackle Donovan Smith. You see, he beats him with this nasty swipe move right here, and a lot of this has to do with the offensive tackle and the set or the punch that he chose to go with. This is why I'm not a big fan of tackles using two-handed punches. It is a good switch up, but not when you're going against a guy like Chase Young who has the strength in his hands like he does. And you can see here, watch the left tackle Donovan Smith here. You'll see him go for the two-handed punch right there. And in doing this, that means he's overextended and Chase Young can easily knock him off balance, which he does again with the hand swipe here. Times it perfectly, gets the hands out of the way, turns the corner, and is able to get the sack on Patrick Mahomes. This is a good example of why I'm more of a bigger fan of tackles and really offensive linemen in general, and using independent hands for their strikes because when you use two-handed strikes like this, it just can cause so many other problems because if you miss completely. You don't have another inside or outside hand to fall back on. In this next play, the Chiefs are going to run a wind back run. So they're going to run to the left to Chase Young's side, and they're going to have this receiver come in motion. They're going to have the tight end or the H back on this play lead block it. So initially, Chase Young is going to crash down, but the guys in the secondary doing a really nice job of filling this to stop Pacheco for a minimal gain and actually make him fumble. But I want to pay attention to the effort given here by Chase Young. So again, crashes down initially, notices it, turns back around, and runs full speed back to the ball carrier. And again, Pacheco fumbles, and San Francisco is able to gain back possession of the ball. Next play here, this is going to be on a 3rd down and 9, big third down earlier in the game. And this is Chase Young again over on your left side of the screen. And again, it's the effort, right? This is a video going over the effort that he gives since that has been a big issue his entire career going back to Washington. And again, 3rd down and 9, Patrick Mahomes is able to make a play, but again, that's just Patrick Mahomes being Mahomes. But you like once again to see the effort from Chase Young. Doesn't initially win his block. They're running a little game up front, but he runs into a double team, but he sticks with it and ends up chasing down Patrick Mahomes, at least to force, a throw across his body. But again, Patrick Mahomes with a, insane throw across his body for the first down. This time, another third down. This is 3rd down and 5. Chase Young again at the top of the screen. And this is a nice rush from Chase Young. It really is. They end up sacking Patrick Mahomes in the pocket, but that's largely in part due to the pressure around the edge from Mahomes. I think he could feel it from his backside, and that caused him to step up and kind of just almost make an errant throw, but he pulled it down and ended up taking the sack instead. So you can see Chase Young over there again going against Donovan Smith, and again hitting Chase Young with the hand swipe off that double-handed punch there from the left tackle right there. And you can see he kind of rips through the block, and he would have been there for a sack if Patrick Mahomes wouldn't have stepped up in the pocket. But again, he was a big reason that, Mahomes did step up in the pocket to begin with on this play. That plus Mahomes probably seen this, huge gap right here. But honestly, it's a really nice job from these two interior defenders to get off their blocks and make a play on the ball here. Next play here, this is going to be on the botched pitch back from Mahomes, and this is where Pacheco kind of fumbles the ball. Well, not kind of, he did fumble the ball, and Nick Bosa is there to make the tackle for a huge loss. And the thing is, Chase Young right there by him again. Right, initially he's blocked, double team, tight end on him. Okay, tight end. He also runs into another offensive lineman right there, but again, he fights through it, keeps playing through the whistle, and is right there with Nick Bosa for the tackle for loss on Isaiah Pacheco. And again, this is 1st down and 10 at the goal line for the Chiefs. And this is another nice rush down here from Chase Young. He's going to fight through two blockers. Granted, one of those blockers is a tight end and the other is a running back, but still, two grown men versus one grown man, Fights through the tight end, shoves him to the side, and forces Patrick Mahomes to probably get rid of this ball a tick faster than he would have liked. Maybe he could have stepped up and made a little bit more accurate ball. It looks like the receiver might have had a step on the defensive back. You never know. But again, nice job from Chase Young over there on the left side of the screen, fighting through the block from Gray and Pacheco tries to chip him from the outside, but Chase Young, he knows that running back is going to chip from the outside, so he throws the tight end towards that direction, gets him out of the way, and again gets a hit on Patrick Mahomes, causing him to throw this ball a little earlier than he would have liked to. Now, big third down and four right here, and this play is where things started to look a little bit too much like last week, right? With the effort things, and I get it. Guys are tired here, but when you have every single other player on the defensive line hustling to make a play, and you're the only one kind of sitting back, jogging, walking, it just doesn't look too good, you know. And I say every other defensive player, and big number 98 there, Hargrave, I believe that is, he ends up on the ground. So we'll give him a pass for that. He fell at least trying to make a play there. You can see Hargrave right here. He ends up tripping, hustling after the ball. But again, he was hustling, trying to make a play. Really nice rush from him initially, actually. He trips there. You see Nick Bosa chasing it from all the way from the backside there. He doesn't stop. He actually ends up on the tackle. And again, 91 Armstead is coming from across the field to hawk down Patrick Mahomes here. And he gets there and is also in on the tackle. And then we have Chase Young here, who started off the game strong, right? But as the game progressed, as he got more tired, it kind of started looking a little too much like last week, like I mentioned before. See, he's just kind of jogging there while his other teammates are going full speed, trying to make the tackle in the Super Bowl. I mean, it's a Super Bowl. You got to give all you got to give 100% effort, and this play just wasn't that from Chase Young. And here's an even better view of it. I mean, watch every other defensive lineman um, give their absolute fullest effort other than Chase Young on this play. All right, this is a second down and seven. And one thing I've noticed from watching a lot of Chase Young film is he tends to just stand straight up a lot. And it's like he stands straight up and then just completely gives up on the rep. And you can see that here again going against the left tackle. Initially fires off the ball. He knows immediately he lost the rep, but instead of him keep fighting through it, he kind of just stands up straight. I mean, look, his knees are locked out, just standing up straight, kind of just walking around, and then gives a half effort attempt at the end there. But again, like look at the other defensive lineman on this play. I mean, look at the three technique right here. He fights through a double team and is still giving his entire effort. Fighting through the double team, and he ends up still almost getting to Patrick Mahomes when Patrick Mahomes steps up. You got the one technique over here or the two eye. Giving it his all on the one-on-one block, putting pressure on the quarterback. And then check out Randy Gregory right here. I mean, he loses his rep as well. He loses a spin move, but he still fights through it, right? He sees the quarterback and goes. But Chase Young on the backside is kind of just, you know, standing up straight, watching. Yeah. Next play here, it's kind of the same thing. Chase Young over there on the left, he loses the rep and he kind of just he accepts it. I think that's the right word I want to use there. He kind of just when he notices he lost the rep, he kind of just accepts it and just waits for the play to be over. Meanwhile, you have again Nick Bosa, the madman, running all over the field, chasing down the quarterback. Number 91 there, Armstead, doing his thing, chasing down the quarterback. But again, Chase Young there on the backside, just kind of waiting around for the play to be over. This next play here, I thought this was a good rush from Chase Young here again over on the left. It's kind of an awkward start because he has to maneuver around the release of Travis Kelsey, but I like what he does here. He uses his inside hand there to kind of pin the tackle towards the inside, and then uses his left hand to rip underneath through, and that causes a pressure on the quarterback. Now, Patrick Mahomes was, of course, able to get this thing off and completed, but again, I like this rep from Chase Young, pins the offensive tackle inside with his outside hand, and then rips through underneath with the inside hand and gets the pressure on the quarterback. Next play here, this is third down, okay, in the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl with 6 minutes left. 49ers trying to hold on to a 3-point lead. Again, Chase Young over here. And look, who am I to judge when it comes to effort, right? I'm just a guy on the internet, but I just feel like this is the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl. You're going against Patrick Mahomes. It's a third down. Like, is this really, initially we lose the pass rush rep, fine, whatever. That's okay. But it's back to what I was saying earlier. It's like he just accepts it, right? The blocker ends up on the ground while the ball is still live. Patrick Mahomes still scrambling around, and we kind of just jogging around again. Like, I don't get it. Here's a better view of it. Again, Donovan Smith ends up on the ground. Patrick Mahomes is still up, and Chase Young kind of just walking, jogging, and it's not like this play resulted in a huge gain or a huge touchdown or anything, but watch Nick Bosa. He tries for the spin move over here. He gets stopped, held. Some people say he's held right there. He gets thrown to the ground. He gets up. He's still able to come back and make the tackle. Look at big number 98 here. Come all the way around this thing. I mean, he doesn't win his block initially. Does a nice job there at the end, but he comes all the way back around, chases him down from behind, and is actually the one who ends up making the tackle. This time, Chase Young over on the right side, and again, I think this is a nice rush from him. Now, Patrick Mahomes scrambles up the middle, but that's beside the point. We're analyzing individual performances here in terms of just Chase Young. But again, like, nice power rush here against the right tackle. Ends up putting him on skates pretty much, collapsing the pocket. But by the time Patrick Mahomes escaped, but again, it's a nice rush from Chase Young. Like, it's obvious the guy is super talented when he wants to give his 100% effort. But the problem is all of the plays in between where it just seems like he, again, like accepts defeat and he just sort of waits for the play to be over. And again, like this here, a few seconds left in the fourth quarter. If the Chiefs score touchdown, game over, right? Chase Young up here on the left side of your screen. Another nice rush here in crunch time, and it's clear the how hard he is going in this rep, right? Like you can tell the difference in effort levels that he gives throughout the game. Um, you know, like nice get off, hands in the chest, hands inside, nice low pad level underneath the tackles, pushes the left tackle back into Patrick Mahomes' face, and the game ends up going to overtime. And who knows, maybe if Patrick Mahomes isn't put under this pressure, he looks away from Kelsey and he might hit Rice right here over the middle, and that could have been a touchdown and won the Chiefs the game in regulation because they did still have a timeout there in case Rice were to be tackled. But again, like it's clear when Chase Young is willing to give 100% effort, he can be a really, really good football player. The problem is can he dedicate himself to giving that type of effort throughout the entire game? Again, this time in overtime on the left side of your screen, Chase Young, nice rip move. We got to hit him with the dip and rip. Comes around the edge, shortening that corner. Again, another nice rep from Chase Young. So overall, I thought Chase Young played pretty well outside of the few plays where effort was a question. But it just goes to show that if he puts his mind to it, he can be as good as he wants to be. But that is going to be the end of the video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you like football content, this type of content, consider subscribing. If not, that's cool too. I just appreciate you guys watching. Peace.